It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
I feel like that's like biblical time stuff. That's what they would exchange as gifts.
Fruits in the quantity of 3.
Like, I gave you 3 pears, but in exchange, I got 3 pears.
Yeah, 3 pears grown on the other side of the village. Like, everybody's just waiting for the one kid to carve them a head in the shape of a face on the top of a stick. God, gifts had to suck, right? You're getting sticks and pears.
And Steve.
If she comes around me, I'll actively turn around. I'll be like a rotisserie.
Maybe insult her?
Yeah, to her face.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you, almost 2, so dumb. Nice diaper.
Can't even say 3-word sentences.
Drool. Evelyn. Maybe
Yeah.
we haven't net out of the room for that part.
Now, here they are, 2 guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
Thank you, Melissa. Melissa Vaughn. You can find her on Fiverr.
Yeah, doing fantastic work.
Doing God's work.
Just glad to know that we got, it's one of those, we got her before she's famous. I'm just assuming that Melissa Vaughn will eventually be...
She'll blow up.
A known voiceover
She'll be like
artist.
that guy that did the movie The Inner World. I think his name was like Don LaFontaine.
Yeah, he had a documentary about him, right?
Did he?
What? I don't want to... It's wildly incorrect to say that I think it was called like The Voice of God or something like that. Because... That's a fascinating story, right? I mean,
I don't know anything about him.
You've danced... Well, I mean, just getting into that profession has to be a fascinating story. Because...
Don LaFontaine documentary.
What a novel thing.
I think it's just called The Voice.
Okay, so I just added the... Well, as we dip our toe into the religion category a little bit more, I like to toss in some more references to God and rabbis. And...
Yeah. Boy, he's a guy who looks like he sounds... He looks exactly like you'd expect him, like bald, older guy. Just like a striking-looking man. Real strong eyebrows.
But we're coming.
R.I.P.
Oh, did he pass?
Just 13 years ago.
Oh.
13 years ago last week. We missed the big anniversary.
Well, that's never stopped us from memorializing someone improperly before, right?
Look, I mean, it's been a while. COVID has kind of kept us grounded for the last month or year and a half.
Yeah.
We could make a trip to Hollywood and see him at the Forever Cemetery.
Imagine we go to Hollywood.
Hollyweird.
Celebrities, everywhere, and you and I make the travel just for the gravesite of movie trailer voiceover guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a better or worse idea than driving to Hartford City, Indiana, to properly memorialize
C.G. Johnson.
C.G. Johnson's childhood home, where the brainchild, the wonderkind himself, came up with the idea for the overhead garage door opener. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we just follow up a couple years later. We could find that email from our friend Sinuard.
Oh, it's still in the inbox. I saw it recently.
Who runs the
public
museum library
historical society or something like that?
And
in case you're somewhat new to this podcast, we go on tangents from time to time.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think it was 2017. We were real garage door heavy.
I think 2017 was Van Wert. So I believe we were looking at 2017 was our Boston trip.
Yeah.
2018 or 2019 was Van Wert. I think it was 2018. I always forget. I apologize.
Doesn't matter.
So I believe 2019, because it was pre-COVID. You and I were
in a
pre-COVID
world. You could dream big dreams.
I mean, we took all the really big steps towards this trip, like sending an email and asking for a plaquist.
Well, the
plaque problem's been solved.
The plaque problem has been solved. We could get our buddy Cy Nolan Ryan Young. He would he'd cut something out beautifully. It would be phenomenal.
The only way we're going to do this and I'm serious about bringing this back up again in the email chain with Sinuard.
Yeah.
There has to be a public ceremony. I want at least 2 elected officials from Hartford City standing in the front lawn of this dump.
Again, we still haven't gotten to the backstory of this.
Oh, yeah.
We for whatever reason, we talked a lot about garage doors.
Well, it's because we replaced one.
I think it was around the time that, I replaced 2 here at our house.
You replaced one at your old house.
Replaced 1.5 at the old house.
So you're
I replaced one all the way back at my old house.
You're 4.5 garage doors deep on a personal level.
On a personal level, yeah. I am, because I had the white one at the Valley house. I had the one at Annette's house. That's 2. Then another half of one at Annette's house. So we're at 2.5. Then I did our 2 single garage doors here.
Yep.
It was a 4.5. And then I helped with yours. Yeah, this is so we were talking a lot about garage doors for whatever reason. And
it's a lot of garage doors to not talk about how many garage doors you've
It
done,
is.
though, right?
It sure is. If I hadn't brought that up, if I was holding that deep down inside and not telling people, come on now. So yeah, I don't know why we decided to research the origins of the overhead garage door opener.
Yes.
But we did. We found out that the man that invented them, his name was C.G. Johnson, born in, what was the name of the town?
Hartford City, Indiana.
Just a stone's throw from where we are. Couple hours we'd be there. So we thought, hot on the heels of our trip to Van Wert to see our billboard, a little less hot on the heels of our trip to Boston to do whatever we did there.
Yeah, our 2 trips have been for really good reasons.
Yeah.
One was to go see a bar that a TV show was based on.
Yeah, not even the bar that...
not even a stage set.
Yeah, it was filmed on a sound stage.
Bull and Finch, which is what it was named, is what Cheers was based on. So that was our first trip. And our second trip was the most self-serving trip you could possibly imagine, to go see our own faces.
To see big pictures of us.
On a billboard.
Yeah. So we thought, okay, we got to do this again. So we decided to research the childhood home of C.G. Johnson, the inventor of the overhead garage door. And we found it, shockingly. We found it, found the address, looked it up, Google mapped it, and it's in a heck of a state. So we emailed the local historical society, and a nice man named Sinuard got back to us right away.
I feel like we
had a lot of info.
I wonder if we've been lied to. I just tried to pull up C.G. Johnson.
Do you think that the house still stands? Do you think they've ripped it down yet? Because he said back then, 2 years ago at least, Sinuard told us. I remember him saying something like the house is in a terrible state and will most likely have to be torn down. Because we wanted to go there and show up basically as the final nail was being nailed in, and then steal all of the glory by presenting a plaque.
Yeah,
we had even brainstormed an idea of having a memorial bench made, but we were going to use pieces of your old garage door to make the bench.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So we'd set up a bench outside of the inventor of the garage door opener's house, made out of garage doors.
Yes. So here's what I'm thinking now, though.
But it all sounds so not stupid.
I think that's a very honorable...
I think it's a great idea. His family would be so impressed.
Yeah, I think that's an honorable way to have that bench in the front yard of a deteriorated home that's falling apart and, condemned. I have some conflicting information, though.
Oh, boy.
Because the garage door opener Wikipedia, which as we all know is the gospel.
Yeah. Has somebody gone on and changed it?
No, it says it was invented by C.G. Johnson, 1926.
Of course.
Hartford City, Indiana. I'm on overheaddoor.com, which is, as everybody knows, the go-to for overhead garage doors.
Yeah, of course.
The garage door, okay. So the garage door was invented in 1921, 5 years later. So, that's not confirmed.
Yeah, nobody cares about the door.
Right.
We're all about the muscle, the thing that moves the door.
But this is listed in 1921 as C.G. Johnson of Detroit.
Maybe he was based out of Detroit then.
But what I'm thinking is within those 5 years, he relocated to Hartford City. I'm not honoring anything in Detroit.
So he showed up.
That bunch of losers.
CG showed up hot on the scene in Detroit, 1921, said, boom, here's my idea, overhead door.
Yeah.
Dropped the mic, rolled out of town a couple years later, rolled into Hartford City, and said, hey, you may not have heard. The news may not have made it a couple 100 miles quite yet, but I invented this door. You know what I'm going to do now? Bam. Opener.
I have a grand ambition right now.
Yeah, what do you got?
The garage door was developed in 1921.
Yeah.
Again, by our friend C.G. Johnson.
Yeah, good friend.
Rest in peace. I think.
Oh, I'm sure he'd
be like
dead.
120, right?
I mean,
130.
Yeah, I mean, if he invented it, I don't know. But people back then did stuff really early, you know?
Maybe he was 8.
Yeah, he was probably 11 years old.
That would still make him 111 today.
Would it?
Because
would it?
If there's ever a time to get this idea off the ground, it's the 100th anniversary of the overhead garage door. Not the opener.
That's this year.
We're 5 years away from the opener anniversary.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait 5 years.
No. We're not good. You think this podcast is still good?
I don't want Reed in school and me, hey, Grandma, can you pick up Reed from school? Daddy's going to take a drive down to Hartford City for a podcast bit.
Yeah.
I think we get in touch with Overhead Door and say, hey, we have this email from our friend Sinuard in Hartford City. We're all distraught over the news that the home of C.G. Johnson is in disrepair.
Have we checked it out yet to see if it...
No idea.
Okay.
I believe the email chain has the address on it.
All right. Just going to go ahead and pull that up.
But if we get in touch, maybe we could co-opt with Overhead Door this bench idea, and then you and I are the honorary speakers / eulogizers of C.G. Johnson. I'm, again, assuming the power went to his head, became a drunk, lost his family, died alone. That's how most of these stories end, right?
Pull up the email from Sinuard as we speak.
Because with this 100... So in 1924, it moved to Hartford City. I have no idea if it's still there, but maybe they know. But if they don't know, we need to bring it to their attention that home is in absolute disrepair. 450 authorized distributors. I don't care about that. I need to know where you are. So their garage door brand of overhead door, headquarters located Louisville, Texas. So there is a chance that they have forgotten where they came from. And I think September of 2021 is the time you and I bring this back to the forefront and we try to rectify the wrong that has been committed against the childhood home. Adulthood home? Said he was from Detroit, so it's not the childhood home.
Oh,
the facility where at one point C.G. Johnson lived.
That would be 421 North Walnut Street.
I believe we did look it up.
Let's see. What is the town called again?
It's Hartford City. Hartford City, Indiana, Steve. Just a stone's throw away from us, I think.
I feel like we mapped it out and it was...
We did. It wasn't
4 hours or so.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the home right now. It doesn't look that bad.
No?
From May of 2018. I mean...
Oh, so that was a year before we got in touch with Sinuard.
Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in there. Listen, it's not updated.
Oh, boy. It's, that's a haunted house.
I'm seeing a spot for a bench, though. It's on a corner, which is perfect.
Oh, I think the bench should go up on the little balcony.
On the property? So I don't want to have to get the homeowner involved.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like there may not be a homeowner.
Yeah.
We got next to a fire hydrant there.
Homeowner's taking a dirt nap. Remember? Look at that, right next to the public library.
5-galloner and kicked it.
Stop and see Sinuard while we're there.
Thunk. There goes the bucket. That's what happened to CG.
All right. Well, I think we know what we have to do.
I think we follow up with Sinuard.
We do.
And we say, Sinuard, it's been 2 years. We were just reminiscing.
What have you done since then?
Yeah, we're just reminiscing about 421 North Walnut. We feel like now is the perfect time to commemorate C.G. Johnson. Maybe put in what the hell else do you have to commemorate down there type of note.
Yeah. Boy, it looks doesn't look like the best neighborhood.
That's right near the library.
Is that supposed to mean something?
I mean, they don't put those on any corner.
That's right, folks. Libraries. They don't put them on any corner.
Do they even have on their Wikipedia the section about notable residents?
Oh, if he is not a notable resident, I think that was the idea behind the bench, because he wasn't listed as a notable resident, and we want to make sure that they know. I love the front of that house.
They lost 708 people between 2000 and 2010 census.
Oh,
so not a booming town.
So it's a place you go to die.
So I think this is a nice tourism boom. Come see the bench in front of the dilapidated house that the creator of the overhead door and overhead door opener once maybe lived in.
Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, yeah, it's happening.
Put that on a brochure. Okay? If I'm staying at a Super 8 2 towns over, I better see one of those large wooden things that carries, hey, go kayaking.
Yeah.
Go parasailing.
Pet the llamas.
Come visit the bench in front of the dilapidated house that the guy who created the overhead garage door and overhead garage door opener once lived in. That's it. You don't need any other info. Slap the address on the bottom, maybe one of those little corner maps with a star where you need to go, and then put a sponsored by Steve and Kyle podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get it. We'll talk to Cy Nolan Ryan Young.
I mean...
He'll carve us out something nice.
We're not exactly looking at a very diverse area here. 97.3% white.
Okay, then.
Median age in the city, 41.3 years.
Hey, we'll fit right in there. We're white. We're around that age.
18.4, 65 or older. A lot of old ones. Blackford County Courthouse. I'm assuming that's it. Listen, I'm all in. I think we got to make this happen. We follow up with Sinuard, say, it's time. What's the shape of the house? Can we put a plaque in the ground?
Yeah.
How do we do that? We'll provide the plaque if we need to.
We'll make sure that he's the one responsible for alerting all of the news stations.
All the news channels in Hartford City, all of the local elected officials. There's a city council, 5 members, 4 elected from districts and 1 elected at large.
I still laugh about this, thinking what could be. We could show up there because I remember we had this grand plan. We were going to bring a podium with us.
We're giving speeches. At least one of us, Steve, is giving an oratory from the sidewalk in front of 421 North Walnut. Yeah. I want at least one community service vehicle, whether it's a cop car or a fire truck, blocking a road.
I want flags at half staff for the passing of Sinuard. Or, jeez. CG, I mean. Sorry, Sinuard.
Because I think we need to step up our celebratory game. Mm-hmm. We celebrated ourselves to rave reviews in Van Wert, Ohio. That one lady at the auto sales shop next to the carpet store.
Still talking about it.
Our billboard was in front of.
Didn't we say, those guys look familiar?
I can't find the story of CG. When did he die? Because since Clarence Gilbert Johnson died 85 years ago.
Oh, boy. So he croaked, about a minute after he invented the thing?
That can't be true. Did he invent it and then fall off a cliff?
So he died at 85 years ago?
And this was in 2020.
All right, so he died in the mid-30s?
Wow. Died in 1985, or 85 years ago. I'm trying to see. Yeah, so there's so little known about it.
Huh. Sounds like a good plot for history
of the mystery. I just feel like I've had so much ripped from my soul right now, finding out that not only is he dead, but...
All right. Well, we got our new adventure planned out.
March 19, 1935, just after his 45th birthday, C.G. Johnson settled in to enjoy his new sprawling estate. Enjoyment was short-lived when he suddenly came down with a severe case of influenza and pneumonia. And 3 days later, he died. Left behind his widow and 2 sons, Clarence G. Jr. and Hal.
And a bunch of garage door openers.
How do you think? What do you think?
You think
1935. The
so
youngest one was 5, so he'd be...
About...
It's a 90.
Well, I mean, we don't really have to do the math because we 91. Know how long. Yeah, we know how long ago he died.
91. If you think Hal's still kicking?
Only one way to find out.
I mean, there's probably only the one Hal Johnson, right?
All right. Well, we're gonna have to send out some feelers.
Stay tuned. Would love to follow up on this with. Maybe we can get Sinuart on the phone. Put him on the spot. Say what do we need to do today to get you to commit to a ceremony in front of the house because. The man's life was lost in 1935 before he could properly be celebrated.
It's been 100 years since he invented this stupid thing.
To the flu.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's time that he gets what he is owed, and that is a proper public send-off with a plaque made by a local 3D printer.
Okay, moving on.
Tell anybody dead 85 years would love to be honored,
exactly.
Steve.
Exactly. The guy didn't even live long enough to know what 3D printing was.
Yes, let alone a plaque.
Yeah.
They just had carvings on wood back then.
Yeah, they hadn't invented plaques yet.
Hand chiseled.
In the 30s.
Unbelievable. Well, Steve, there's something I've been meaning to ask you because I noticed it.
What do you got?
I want to say I noticed it 2 weeks ago, and our recording schedule's been a bit weirdly staggered the last month. I've been giving you kind of some guff the last 6 to 8 weeks about the Comanche project. And before you think I'm going to ask you about the status of it, I'm not. I did notice, though, that the once upright truck bed is no longer upright.
No, it is now downright.
It is horizontal.
That's probably the word.
So where you once had 2... You now have just the one?
Just one, yeah. One truck bed. Sold the other one.
Okay, so I didn't know how close you were to possibly, again, encompassing garbage neighbor etiquette and stacking puppy right outside your garage on the side, upright.
I have been extremely careful to not stack anything outside of the garage at all.
Yeah.
And it's,
So you're able to sell it?
Yeah. You believe that?
Like in a Jeep group or a local marketplace or giveaway or what?
I had posted it on eBay, and then
for pickup?
Yeah, pickup only. Yeah, I wasn't shipping that thing.
Yeah, walk into the USPS for that. Hey,
there you go.
How many stamps?
No, I posted it on eBay, and some guy messaged me back and forth a couple times. He's like, hey, I want to come get it. He was a couple hours away, I think in Indiana or something. Mm-hmm. And while we messaged back and forth, he was like, how much do you want for it? I'll just buy it from you. Take it down off eBay. I was like, all right. So sold it to him. And he came 2 days later and picked it up. And it's gone.
Just like that.
Just like that. All the weeks and weeks of it being on Marketplace and all the other Jeep sites wouldn't go. Posted it, and this guy, and the thing is, I kind of because I had posted it with a buy it now price of like $500 or so, and he was the only one that had bid on it, and it was 100. He had a bid of $100, and it was done the next day, and he messaged me. He's like, I know that the reserve's not met, but I don't want to lose it. I was like he kind of had the upper hand because.
What else are you going to do?
The price wasn't going up, and he's just like, how much do you want for it? I'll just come and buy it. Okay. So I told him I think I got him for $500.
No kidding.
Yeah. So he came and took it. So that's gone. That was out in the shed, but it's gone now. I have so much room in that shed now. Sold the riding mower, sold the truck bed.
That's what was the reason behind selling the riding mower?
It was annoying me. It was giving me too many issues.
That was the one that was constantly not working.
Constantly.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but I've always I bought that mower when we lived at Annette's old house, and there was a much bigger yard.
Yeah.
And we didn't need it here.
Yeah.
And it was kind of too big for the yard. Like I couldn't get into any of the tight spots in the yard with it, so I'd have to spend a half a day trimming with the string trimmer.
Right.
And I'd rather... So I said, I'm done with this thing. Plus, it was giving me all these issues. Wouldn't stay running, the stupid carburetor, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, I'm ready to make the switch to electric.
Oh, God, you hippie.
Sold it, and I love my electric mower.
Probably someone out there who just, blew in the cartridge, and that thing's running like a...
Probably.
Like perfect now.
Well, that's the thing. I got it running really well
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want to sell it as an issue. I didn't want to give somebody else a hassle.
Sure.
I wanted it to be running good for the next person that got it. So I got it running really well, and then I sold it.
But just warned them, hey, at any point, this thing could take a dump, just so you're aware.
As long as it gave them a good month.
Yeah, right. After that, you're on your own.
Yeah.
You can go slam your fist in the ground on your own time.
Yeah.
And after I've been paid.
Yeah. But it was, because that was a deal where I posted it on Marketplace, and a guy got in touch with me, and we negotiated back and forth a few times, and he was like, can you deliver it? I was like, deliver it?
To where?
No, I can't deliver it. He lives 20 minutes
from
here. So
he just wanted you to... Oh.
And then, but I ended up delivering it to him because I think I had it posted for one amount. He kind of lowballed me a little bit. We kind of met back in the middle, and then he was like, hey, would you be able to deliver it? And I was like, if you give me the original asking price, yes, I'll deliver it. Because I had used a friend's trailer that weekend for something else. I still had it. Guy lived 20 minutes away. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Rolled it up onto the trailer, drove it over to his house, and he gave me the full asking price.
All right.
So
you said you've got an empty shed.
Yeah, I got nothing out there now.
Winter's approaching.
Yeah.
Think the Comanche would fit?
Boy. That's a big negative.
A little too long?
A little too long.
I just wonder.
I'd have to widen. I'd have to widen the door by a good foot.
You've endured one winter now of parking outside in the winter.
Sure looks like it's going to be 2 winters.
Because you have the remote start. It's not like it's not like you're out there hoofing it at 3 in the morning for the most part, right? I'm sure you still have to scrape some snow off at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten really good. I got in the habit of leaving the heat on full blast on defroster.
Yep.
When I would get out of the car.
So it's like you're back in college or your first apartment again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Parking outside. So you're fully prepared. Second winter.
Yeah, I mean, I have no other option.
Outdoor parking because the Comanche will be taking up the second stall.
I have no other option. I don't know what. I mean, I could roll it outside, but then I'm the junk. Yeah, I'm the junk person.
You don't want to be that guy. Where are you at then? If the truck bed's on, I mean, again, I just looked through the Instagram.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of a few more small pieces of metal. I'm assuming those meant something of import to the vehicle.
Well, yeah. I mean, every piece of metal. Look, it's a big puzzle, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big puzzle.
Because you seem to be hell-bent on any rust anywhere or any potential for rust anywhere on this vehicle. If you could smell rust, you would be there in an instant with, anti-rust spray, making sure that the rust would not be present. Are we still in rust removal stage of the Comanche rebuild?
Well, I'm kind of jumping around, going from this to that, bipping and bopping,
Are other Comanche builders or Jeep rebuilders looking down on you for how long this is taking?
I'm sure some of them are.
But, this is something, granted, you weren't doing this for a 6-week flip. You're doing it for your own use.
Yeah.
Again, which I still have my prediction in the bag. If you're going to drive it out of the cul-de-sac once, realize its lack of functionality and that it's not comfortable,
I don't really like
else, and you're going to say, yeah, I think I'm going to sell it.
Yeah.
And then get rid of it.
There's a good chance that could happen.
So
I think there's a good chance. I would say the more likely scenario is that because Annette and I have been talking for a while about we're going to be getting a new car Her car is, I don't know, it's probably got 120,000 miles on it.
Going to replace hers.
It's getting to the point when we're going, we're starting to think about, we're in the very early stages of, what do you want? What do you want to get? What do you think we should get? But Annette is also...
I think I know you. You're going to be looking for a Tesla, aren't you?
Absolutely.
I knew it. But one of like a 4-door.
Yeah.
Are they still waitlisted? Is that something you could get delivered to you next week? Granted, you're not doing it.
It's funny that you bring that up. Did you have any inside info on that?
You've mentioned it before.
Yeah.
That you were interested in a Tesla, but that was, I think, a couple of years ago. You'd mentioned that you put a deposit down, right? $200.
No, I thought about putting a deposit on.
Okay.
Because when the Model 3, it's the 4-door was the $35,000 electric car. And I was like, well, hell, for $35,000.
Yeah.
That's, if I wanted to get a new Camry, that's what it is.
Yes.
But yeah, it's very funny that you bring that up because originally we were supposed to record at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yes.
I had sent you a text the other day saying, hey, can we push it back to 1? Because we were tentatively going to test drive one today.
A Tesla?
At 10 o'clock this morning.
Is there a dealer or do you have to drive?
There is not a dealer. There is a service center, but since Michigan has a bunch of weird laws about the auto industry, and Tesla doesn't technically have dealerships, they have stores for whatever reason. There are some weird laws where the auto industry, the regular fossil fuel auto industry, has outlawed Teslas from being sold in this state. But they have a service center. And from the service center, you can do test drives. So the
other people's? Or do they?
No, I'm sure they just have.
Okay.
They probably have a fleet of them there. So it ended up not happening anyway. But I think that there's a very likely scenario where we sell Annette's car, we buy one of them, buy the Tesla, and once the Comanche is driving, sell the Jeep, like my silver Jeep.
The Murder Jeep.
Murder Jeep.
No, I'm sorry. Was it Murder Jeep? No. Murder
I'm
Jeep
sure
was
you
the
called
one
it that.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a death.
So I think that we could be a Tesla Comanche family.
That's it?
Yeah.
But, boy, you'd essentially be a one-family vehicle then. Or one-vehicle family,
yeah.
There's a few situations, though, where you guys go visit up, for the in-laws. But only you'll come back.
Yeah.
And I guess, hypothetically, Evelyn would stay. I'm just thinking out loud about these situations where, hey, I have to go somewhere and all I have is the Comanche.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to strap Evelyn into the bed and
I don't know
tell
how
her to lay down.
I don't know how realistic that scenario is.
Yeah.
I think it's possible, though.
Okay.
Because if I'm still going to work every day, I would just drive to work every day.
Yeah.
Unless there were days where Annette had an appointment or whatever that she had to go to. I guess if she wanted to drive the old Manchi.
I was going to say, so would you take the Tesla to work and then leave the Manchi for your wife?
My wife and daughter.
Obviously. You just put her in the seat on
just
the passenger side.
Yeah, put her in the bed.
Yes,
it's much
lay
safer.
her down.
Much safer in the bed.
Wow. It frees up a lot of space and it frees up some extra cash for you to get back in the jet ski game. Totally change your entire priority.
I think they make an electric jet ski.
Yeah, gotta get out of here. Gas her up. Waste the gas.
So you're anti-electric vehicle?
No, the vehicle's fine. I think that. For me, it's still unaffordable for years down the road to be able to afford one of those. And all I hear about are nightmares about when you do need service or anything. It's months out, and obviously you have to drive hours to bring it somewhere, and it's a bit of a mess. But
yeah, it definitely made a difference when they opened a local service center here.
Okay.
But yeah, as for affordability, I think you'd be very surprised.
Maybe. I'm not a $40,000 car guy or $35,000 car guy yet. So.
Well, we were looking into because if you look at I don't know, we like the idea of doing something that's at least a hybrid.
Sure.
So we're looking at the Toyota RAV4, and it's those are mid 30s.
Yeah.
If you're buying them brand new, or the the Hondas or another Subaru or something. We're like, well, for a little bit more. Plus, there's still some rebates and everything. And
what is the weight on that? Like, if you guys, so you said you were gonna consider test driving one today. What's the weight?
Depending on the model.
If you wanted one.
There's the super fancy one, which the two fanciest ones, the S and the X. Mm-hmm. No, sir, not going to be affording them for quite a few years.
$60,000, $80,000, something like that.
Oh God, the one probably starts at 70. Yeah. So lottery, that's lottery car. If I hit the lottery, but the Model 3 and the Model Y, much more reasonable. Model 3 starts at like 35. The weight on them, I think, is January.
Okay.
So order it now. I think the Model Y is a March or April.
Man, that still seems just waiting for car. But I mean, at this point, everybody is because there's no computer chips anywhere. It seems like so. Yeah, that's no different. Okay.
Yeah, well, I love the idea of it. Everything about it appeals to me. I like for one, I like it because it's high tech. Mm-hmm. Like I like techie, gadgety stuff. Mm-hmm. I like the idea that we could charge it from our garage.
Yes,
and eventually
one of those chargers and everything, right? Yeah.
Which are I mean it costs about $500, and the local power company offers you a $500 rebate if you install one. So kind of break even on that. I like the idea of eventually putting some solar panels on the back of the house.
Yeah, so start collecting your rainwater
charging the car,
using the solar panels to make your garden. You guys only eat food from there.
Yeah. Maybe I'll convert the Comanche to electric.
Start weaving hemp pants. Twist your hair into some dreadlocks so you don't have to wash them.
Yeah.
Very often.
Get accused of cultural appropriation.
Yeah. I mean, we could get you past that 50% hippie.
Yeah.
In the next year or so, if that's what you're interested in.
I like it though.
And then you go out in the Comanche and everybody's like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah, well, I start up the Comanche and it fires out enough carbon monoxide to offset like 6 vehicles.
Just imagine you leaving at 4 a.m. here every morning to go to work in the Comanche, waking up 3 of your neighbors, dogs barking.
As it backfires.
Yeah, as you hear pops and black smoke puffing out the back as you pour out of the driveway, and then as you drive away, you're obviously bouncing because nothing's comfortable.
Sure. I don't know, man. That thing's got brand new suspension in it. Everything.
Yeah, but you physically can't sit in it yet because there's no seats and barely a floor, right?
Look. That brings us back to the initial question. Where am I?
Yeah. I don't remember the last time I asked you what your goal was. I think it was probably next year anyway.
No, I think my goal, the last time you asked me, I think my goal was to drive it this fall.
Okay.
I think that's very possible.
Still in the... But for you, driving it is probably, 60 to 70% done, and you still have everything else you want to do to it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm going to completely finish it and spit shine it and then
go out for a drive?
Yeah, no, it'll be get it to a certain point when it has 4 wheels back on it. It has working brakes and a muffler, and then so we're getting close.
So this fall, you're saying? I mean, realistically, Michigan fall, you have.
If I could drive it to your house on Halloween,
okay?
Because are you doing anything big at the house?
Have not decided. Probably not.
Because if you need you know how sometimes you see like a couple hay bales and then like an old rusty truck.
Yeah.
To kind of set the mood.
If I need the rusty truck.
I got that rusty truck if you need it.
Boy, I kind of wish you'd just held on to that truck bed. We could have set a scene, you know what I mean? Instead of having the actual truck there. So that gives you a little over 50-some days to get that thing drivable.
Boy, when you put it like that. I had such high hopes for this vacation. And like every other vacation, it was a disappointment. Didn't quite get it done, huh?
Especially after your change. You know, you were supposed to go visit your dad. You didn't end up doing that.
Yeah.
So in your mind, you're probably All these extra time for projects.
But then I realized that, so my last day of work was a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then last Monday, that was a legit vacation day. I was off. Annette was off.
Mm-hmm.
But then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she worked. So I was obviously here with
Daddy Daycare.
With Evelyn. And then the week was pretty much over.
There's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we are on Monday later.
Here we are Monday, sitting here, recording a podcast.
Steve, it's Monday. It is Labor Day. It was a big, big night for me last night.
I know. I heard about that. Got a text from Brother Mike.
Oh, did you?
I did.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm assuming you have his number at the ready. I would like to talk to Brother Mike today.
I got a text yesterday at 4:33 p.m. from Brother Mike. He said, if you're in the mood for some entertainment tonight, the league that I'm in with Kyle is drafting via WebEx. What is WebEx?
So WebEx is just like a corporate Zoom.
Okay.
Right? So it's a company provided.
Okay, so you did a video conference.
Yeah, so because obviously everybody's still separated. Yeah, that I'm very curious that Brother Mike sent that text to you.
So I replied, of course, saying, "Yeah, I'll see you there," with the gif of Adam Sandler doing the thumbs down. Still not really sure why he is trying to get me to be included in this. It's something I have zero interest in. I've made it very clear I don't have any interest in it.
The guy just wants to have hang out with his brother.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, join the call that his other brother's on. 3 brothers cutting it up.
No, zero interest.
One guy too good for that.
I had a lot going on yesterday.
Steve, at 7:30 last night, did you?
A ton. Yeah, we had the thing with it.
Because it's good you didn't show up, because not only did you not show up, the guy who provided the WebEx, Brother Mike, didn't show up.
Huh. That's weird.
So I was hoping you could dial him up right there. I know we have supposedly a more streamlined phone call conversation. As I see you're frantically, I apologize for putting you on the spot like this. Frantically see you plugging it in. Let's see how this works on the spot. Because I have questions. I have questions to Brother Mike. I have questions about, is this company going to be okay with what happened last night?
Hello?
Hello. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. How are you?
Highlight of my weekend. How you guys doing?
You know what, Mike? I was better 23 hours or 20 hours ago when I thought the guy who created the WebEx meeting.
I knew this was coming.
And the guy who created an email chain that got, a bunch of riffing back and forth among all these league members.
Oh, boy.
When I thought that guy would be there. So
I have an excuse, but go ahead. Go ahead. Berate me.
So wait a minute. Hold on. So let me just try and wrap my head around this. So, Mike, you're in this league, fantasy football league with Kyle and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
You say, "Hey guys, I'm going to create the WebEx. I got the fancy account through work." Steve, this happened more than a month ago. That Mike texted me, "I want to get a WebEx going for the draft." I said, "That sounds fun. I don't know who's going to join. Let's do it." I went through, personally texted all 11 or 10 other people, "Get me your email. We're going to do a WebEx." They all sent it. I sent a nice form list to Mike 2-3 weeks ago with everybody's email for this WebEx.
All right. And then the moment of truth came and you didn't show up to your own WebEx?
So I have an excuse.
Not just the WebEx either. To the draft.
So this starts Saturday night. I had a draft on Saturday night. I had to drive to Jersey, and I was up till about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Might have had a few liquid refreshments.
Mike, we're too old for 3 in the morning. That's the first thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you feel it?
The cigar at 2 a.m. was probably over the top.
So that cigar at 2 a.m., staying up till 3, you go home.
I go home at 6 a.m.
Oh, God. Wife smells you from 2 blocks away.
My wife doesn't care about me.
So you stroll in.
Yes.
How is Sunday for you after being a man of not 20s, staying up that late?
So, where Sunday evolved was we had a barbecue. So
Okay.
went to the barbecue, and I had a few more liquid refreshments.
You can just say alcohol. It's all right.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
We got back to the house. About 4:45. So I set my alarm for 6:45, thinking, you know what, I got a 2-hour cat nap here. I'm on no sleep. Get a 2-hour cat nap, and I'll be ready to go for this draft. Unfortunately, I misrepresented the whole AM PM aspect of the alarm, and woke up at, I think it was a little after 8.
Huh.
But I will submit that I do think my team is actually pretty good, despite my not being there for the first 7 rounds.
So your team was, I'm assuming that it just gets auto drafted. Like if you're a no-show, they just draft whoever.
Auto drafted based on rankings. Yes.
So, Mike, what you're telling me is at 8:03 last night, I get a text. That text message, word for word. Got totally sidetracked. You're telling me now, today.
Yes.
Here, 16 hours later, you fell asleep.
Yes, I did.
A father of 2, holiday weekend. You're out till 6 in the morning the night before. You're taking naps at 6 p.m. Mike, what the hell's going on, man?
Kyle, there's this thing called a midlife crisis, and I think this might have been it.
How do you
feel?
So
that was it. It's a short-lived 36-hour midlife crisis.
It was it was rough.
Because I have to tell you, there's been incredibly brief overtures, just because obviously we don't really know anything that's going to be going on next year, of going for a weekend to catch a Springsteen show somewhere. Myself,
well, that I'll be awake for.
Katie,
I'll be awake for that.
Mike, your lovely bride. We don't care if Steve's there.
Steve who?
You're telling me that I got to brace my body and mind for a 6 a.m. Saturday night?
Go big or go home, Kyle.
I'll go home. That's my choice. I'm going to be the one who at 11 o'clock of Springsteen. 4 hours, right? Self-indulgent at this point.
Yeah. How many encores do you need?
Looking at my watch, saying, enough already. Let's get out of here.
You got to play Rosalita again?
Look, Kyle, you can only be young once, but you can be immature forever.
That's right.
Just remember that.
We use your corporate WebEx account. So are you looking at an explanation now when you get into work tomorrow on Tuesday? Somebody's going to say, hey, we noticed some Sunday night WebEx activity from your account, but you weren't logged in. So you wake up, you roll out of your couch-ridden slumber, 8 o'clock on a Sunday night of a long holiday weekend. You text me, you jump on the draft. You don't have the gall to actually make your face known, though. Are you going to face any management questions when you stroll in tomorrow?
No, but if I did, I would tell the truth. It was a fantasy football draft.
Yeah, okay. It's not the, I don't know, someone must have gotten my account and decided to talk for an hour and a half.
Yeah, they must have been doing some big mutual fund chat on Sunday of Labor Day weekend. I mean, where is the market up? I don't know.
I don't think anybody's going to notice the fact that I was not there. And I don't think there's a huge cost to the firm for having a 2-hour WebEx.
Well, that's what they say, but then you start, you're going to keep thinking like that, and then you're going to say, they're not going to notice this pencil off my desk.
That's right.
They're not going to notice this
ream of paper,
roll of toilet paper, and the next thing you know, you're prison, Mike. You're locked up.
That's right.
See, at the end of the day, though, I think my presence at that draft actually would have been detrimental to the team I ended up with. I think I ended up with a pretty good team, all things considered.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, you have 3 running backs on a bye the same week.
Is that bad?
It's not good.
You can manage through that. That's not a big deal.
He didn't take a kicker. He's a kicker short heading into week 1.
Yeah, you know what? Right. I thought the draft was actually one more round than it actually was. So
I mean,
that was an honest mistake. Now I will tell you, in my other draft, I took 2 kickers and no defenses.
Oh my god!
So I'm not having a very good weekend from that standpoint.
Now, as somebody who has zero really understanding or desire to understand fantasy football,
you're so lucky. You're so lucky. It's the worst.
I feel like it's necessary to have at least one player that plays every position, right?
Yeah, typically.
Well, probably. But if you're not going to have a particular position, kicker is probably the one that's the least detrimental.
Don't they score the most points?
So it depends. So the problem with the kicker is that it's so wildly.
I don't know why I asked. Don't care.
Yeah, no, and
don't care at all.
That's why I faded away middle of my
Why wasn't
explanation.
Steve in this league, by the way, Kyle?
Well, so here's the thing, Mike. If Steve had showed up last night, it would have just been me and Steve and a bunch of the buddies we know, not even you. So in hindsight, it's fantastic that Steve's not in this league.
It's funny, too, because at one point last night, I did have, for a split second, I had an inkling. Maybe I'll send one of them a text. I'll see if I can pop on, do a cameo, go like I'm at a comedy club, pop up, do my 5-minute set, and then hit the door.
It would have been a cameo for about 3 people.
Yeah.
It would have been a cameo for the town drunk Rusty.
Yep.
Cy Nolan Ryan Young and my brother. That's it. Because, again, Mike wasn't there.
Yeah.
And everybody else
that was the worst part about this, is that I missed Robert and I missed town drunk Rusty.
Oh, we had so much fun in this WebEx, so thank you again. If you could give me an address or an email address, I'd like to send a thank you email to your management team for allowing us to use their WebEx this weekend.
I can actually arrange that.
Mike, I'm disappointed, a little bit hurt. I was looking forward to seeing you last night shooting the breeze. We haven't done a video chat in a few years. I believe I jumped on 2 years ago during the draft for the Eagles.
Oh, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I was able to talk with your friends about that and laugh at the Eagles. A little bit hurt.
We'll be talking gambling, I'm sure.
Right.
With the NFL starting next weekend.
While I got you here, I'm can't wait to talk about it. Eagles. Oh my God, they're 3rd in the division, right? 3rd.
It's a pretty bad division. They could literally finish anywhere.
It's bad, but can you tell me a spot the Eagles got better?
No, I cannot.
Because their big Cinderella story last year was Travis Fulgham, a wide receiver out of nowhere, cut by the Detroit Lions. What happens this year? He's now cut by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, but he signed back to the practice squad.
Yeah,
we still got him.
Useless, though, to have him there. So, we'll just be following along. 3rd in the division, I think, is your rest. Any other Eagles thoughts before we let you go?
Well, we have the Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith.
That'll be fun.
Who I expect to have a good year. Hurts, I really cannot get a read on right now. He only played, I think, 10 snaps in the preseason, which to me was not enough. I like his athletic ability. I don't know if he can throw the ball that well, but I don't think he's going to be bad. I'm not sure he's he's not your. I don't think he's necessarily like your quote unquote franchise quarterback. But
we can't thank you enough for coming on. Boy,
just remarkably rude. I didn't ask. Did his connection drop?
Looks
the
like
problem is
a connection dropped.
The problem is I would have sat there for the next 25 minutes talking Eagles, talking NFC East. We would have gotten to the NFC North.
Okay.
Boy, we really ran out of time there.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we lose Brother Mike on accident.
Accident, yeah. Accident.
We didn't have a chance to get to the polls this week. Too much time recapping C.G. Johnson. Stay tuned for an update. We've got a busy next month. We got to follow up with Hartford City.
Yeah.
We've got
Did you email Sinuard back yet?
I did not. No, we've got Apples to Apples.
Well, maybe. You never know. Never know if that's going to happen or not. Did you get the text I sent you earlier?
Yes. Yeah, you're diving into a Michigan delicacy.
Oh, my God.
Was it a Michigan? Did you get it from the grocery store?
Got it from the grocery store, so I'm assuming... It
Wild
was
West there.
Unbelievable, the Honeycrisp I had. Unbelievable. Do you want one on your way out the door?
Brother Mike, not happy with you right now.
With me? I don't know what happened. Tech.
It's been the connection.
Tech things, yeah.
Listen, we have tech issues on this thing.
You know these cables, they on the fritz.
Every single week. Hey, Steve, next week I want to tell you, because I don't want to forget, I want to take you to radio school. Or ask you some questions about radio school. Because,
maybe so I can answer. So I can fill you in. I can be the inside info for you.
Yeah, because I just want to know at what point do they tell you that everything has to sound the exact same, no matter where you are, no matter where you live. I think it's a big, big point for radio.
Okay. Oh, because let's see. So you did some traveling over the last couple of days. I'm assuming that
we were down in Florida. Yeah.
Assuming you heard something in particular, or just the overall sound. Something
in particular, but the way it was framed.
Okay.
It could be in any radio market in the world, and it infuriates me to no end.
Is it does it have to do with the thing we always joke about with, like, well, you're driving through Orlando if you hit that pothole?
Oh, God, no. This was a program or a ad for the station itself.
Okay. All right.
The exact same everywhere, equally dumb everywhere.
Look forward to hearing about that next week.
Oh.
All right. At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Talk to you next week. See ya. It is Monday, September 6th, 2021, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Happy Labor Day.
Talk to you next week.